recently, this past weekend, the opposition head in the Knesset, his name is Bougie Herzog, real name Isaac Herzog. He's the head of the Zionist Union. He said that Israel should be more open to absorbing some of the refugees that have been fleeing in Syria and North Africa, but primarily Syria since it's right next to us. And he pretty much criticized Netanyahu and his government for not doing enough. Earlier today, Netanyahu said, no, actually, we care about the refugees, but we don't, we're just too small to absorb them, but what we will do is we will be part of this international effort to solve the humanitarian problem. The question is does Israel have a responsibility to absorb these refugees into our country? Because we know very well in our history that we were trying to not only leave Europe, but very often we tried to come here to Israel, which is our homeland, and the British, who were controlling it, wouldn't let us in. So we were pretty much refugees ourselves. Mm-hmm. So it's really a not such a simple question if you really think about it, because on the one hand, we're supposed to be a Jewish country, which gives the right of return to all Jewish people around the world, because this is our homeland, and we need to preserve our Jewish character here. But on the other hand, we know very well what it's like to be a persecuted people and what it's like to need refuge. So the question is, what do we do?
Nothing.
You say nothing, really? Nothing?
You know why? I'll tell you why. These refugees that would come into Israel, mm-hmm. it would be like allowing ISIS to come in mm-hmm. and like wreak havoc. It's like having let's say, for example, the Kurds are being massacred in Turkey, mm-hmm. and the Kurds hate the Iranians, and the Iranians allow the Kurds to come live in Iran. Mm. It's the same thing. It's like these people that are in Syria, for the most part, hate Israel and don't like Israel. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Bougie forgot to mention that many of these Islamic terrorists come into Israel and get medical treatment.
Yes, that is something that I think that Israel has been very stupid at, just bringing them in like that, made us look bad, made us complicit kind of in a way. I have to say, on some level, I sort of agree with you in this case, Shlomo, because of the problem with the fact that these are primarily Islamic terrorists, and unfortunately, it's just too complicated to deal with it. That said, it's really a tragedy that this is happening, and I think the best thing we could do is, there was a statement I remember that someone made when the United States almost contemplated bombing Syria in 2013, said if you really cared about the people who were dying there, instead of dropping bombs, you would drop gas masks. So you could save the people from getting gassed, if you really cared about them. So what we should do is we should try to start an effort to stop the ship as a Jewish country, I think. It's really important. My solution: stop the shipment, try to convince countries to stop shipping weapons into Syria on both sides. Because the more weapons there are, the more fighting there is, and the more people are killed, and the more dangerous these terrorist groups are. So I think, that's probably what we should do as a Jewish country. Try to get that, and we should stop arming South Sudan. Stop sending arms to South Sudan, because it's just causing more people in that civil war to die on both sides. And we need to, just as a Jewish country, that's what I think we should do.
This is what I think should go on. I mean, these refugees should go somewhere. It just shouldn't go to Israel. They have the Gulf states. They could open up their hand. Or they can go to Europe, because now many European countries have opened their doors to these refugees, so they do have a place to go now.
Oh, Hungary and Bulgaria are going to close them off.
But all the other Western European countries, Germany, Spain, the UK, and France, open doors to these refugees because they need them for their economy, because they don't have a childbirth rate to keep up their economy over the next few years. So they need immigrants anyways, and they need refugees. So they're going to bring them in there, and they have a place to go. And it's funny because the Gulf states won't accept them, because the Gulf states will look at the Europeans and be like, racists, racists. You don't like them Arabs because you are racists. So
the truth is they probably are in some way. I'm not saying they have an obligation, but they probably are racist anyway. But
So, anyways, I just, these refugees are going to be fun overall. They're going to get into Germany and France and the UK, and they don't even need Israel, I think.